Hey guys, Mongo here. Quick update. Well, actually, not really quick. I'm going to start doing like a weekly wrap-up review of the entire week. So I'll just knock everything out in one fell swoop because Fridays are busy for me with kids, payroll. I have two other jobs, obviously I run, besides Block Guard. I have another business in the real world. So this is what I'm going to start doing. Kind of makes sense to me. Give you guys a quick wrap up, hopefully 15 to 30 minutes max. But just starting down with Bitcoin and seeing how it's kind of projecting to the rest of the market. And then we'll maybe do stocks at a later date. But really, I think we're getting to the point where cryptos are going to decorrelate from stocks. So I'm not really going to pay too much attention to that. So here we are on the weekly. Bitcoin has set a new all-time high again. 3 days. 3 days ago, we had the first one. Now we had the second one. The high candle today was the BLX only hit 60. Well, technically, it only hit 69,101, but many other charts I'll show you hit 70, well over 70. So here's where we are. The dotted line is our Bitcoin halving cycle projected around tax day, April 15th here in the U.S. Again, these numbers are based on previous cycles. So the problem we have at the moment is how does the Bitcoin ETF affect all of this, right? So deductions from this previous cycle in 2016 to 2017, this one here in 2020, 2021, how is that going to affect the current projection on time frame? If the 4-year cycle is still valid, then it shouldn't. The only thing it might change is kind of where the Bitcoin or the all-time high breaks, which we just broke it. So actually, I could probably just delete this line. So we just broke the all-time high. What? Actually, leave it there because we'll just give you a reference of how early we are. Sorry, I'm going to somewhat wing this. This isn't exactly prepped. So we are 200 and roughly 31 days ahead of schedule. So take it as you will. It's funky, but we've hit that. So let's move into smaller time frames, move off of this chart. We'll go into Coinbase first and then kind of run down my list. So here's my weekly on Coinbase, and I'll get rid of this for you so you can see what's going on. So for those of you that are new to me, this is my projected boxes based on, again, without the ETF. So I had a projected high based on the 5.3 theory cycle that Steve came up with on Crypto Crew University. I was in the same ballpark with thinking that the ETFs could eventually cap the rally. But now that the way we're pumping, we're looking more like we're going to blow through all of this and kind of get as high as like the 155 range. I prefer to be on the more conservative projection. So we'll take it one step at a time. My current projection, I'll show you in a different chart, but I think it's like 74,000 is my next level to watch. Get above that, it's 83, and then get above that, you're looking at this 102 mark, and then you have the 2618 up at the 155. 470 mark. So we'll just take it one step at a time. Money flow is super strong on the weekly. There's no end in sight, to be honest with you. Daily, let's go down to the 3-day. Money flow is just increasing. This is just, for those of you who haven't been in trading for a while, this is just the most beautiful thing ever to see this kind of money flow. And to give you a reference, the last time we had money flow touching the, what is this? Touching the 50 line or 57 was back. We're touching money flow that we had at the peak of the last bull run in 2021, the real high, which was here. And we hadn't even touched that until the peak of 2017, which is the false peak. So it's interesting. Really, really bullish. That's what institutional money does for you. And it looks like BlackRock has no signs of stopping. I do expect some sideways consolidation. I don't expect us to bust through the high again, but who knows? These ETFs, all depends on how money hungry they are. We'll probably do the same thing last time. We're going to fade and then bounce. This is basically a bull flag. I expect another bull flag, and then we'll see where that goes. It's 8-hour. Money flow is still thick on the 8-hour. Coming into the weekend should be your better time to start buying. Hopefully have a pullback and a dip without having the ETFs purchasing. So anyone who wants to sell at this point has a really easy time to do so to push price around. So we'll see. It's funny. Coinbase is saying this is actually a weak high we put in. So on Coinbase, we hit 70,203. So I'll show you on other charts. I use MEXC for my leverage trading. I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, here's my current target, 75,322, and that's based off of this breakout of this bull flag. So we can also do later today another bull flag once I get my kids in bed and kind of get taxes done with. But this is why I'm not going to be here the next, well, I may have less videos the next day or so, just as I wrap up taxes for both the business, 2 different businesses, and my personal stuff. So nice bull flag breakouts. Technically, this is a continuation pattern. I do like the 1 hour money flow. Keep in mind it's 1:45 here in the United States, over here on the East Coast. So Eastern Standard Time, New York time. So stock markets close in roughly like a little under 3 hours. So you're probably going to see some sell off if you haven't already. Let's look at the 24-minute. Yeah, I mean, we're just range bound, guys. So let's just pull a fixed range for this entire breakout. Let's do this. We'll go to this wick. Oops, wrong tool. Excuse me. Go from there to there. That gives you an idea. So yeah, we're getting rejected currently from the value area high of the range. So likelihood is this gets rejected again, and it looks like it is. You're kind of forming an inverted head and shoulders here on the momentum wave. You're probably going to come back down and at least revisit the point of control, which is sitting at 67,218. That doesn't hold, then look towards the strong low you have down here, and also the value area low, which is coming in at 66,679. So that is Bitcoin in a nutshell. I'll leave that alone. Let's move on to the other one I've been trading recently is FET or FET AI. Going back to Bitcoin, if you didn't see, I posted it. Finally hit my first 1,000% trade on leverage with Bitcoin. So that was a 100x trade. If you haven't seen it, it's on Twitter, and I posted a single photo / little video from TikTok on our YouTube channel. So expect a back test here for the FET AI. So we're almost hitting my target. $3.95 is the next level to look at. So I wouldn't mind seeing you broke out again to a new high. So a back test of this value area low. Actually, let's go ahead and see if I can get that and pull this over. Yeah, so a nice back test here of like $2.75 would be perfect. I still have a leverage long from this one. It's up almost 300%. But I did move my stop loss to just above this order block right here. So it's likely going to come back down again is my thought. So if that's the case, I'd rather get stopped out in a significant profit, and then I'll re-enter later with more. And then if we get a really big flash crash somewhere down in here, I'll probably buy more spot. So, but the way things look and the way AI looks in terms of the narrative and how bullish this is, I don't see that happening. So that is that with FET AI. Let's move on to AVAX. Zoom out for you, my apologies. So AVAX, we have a breakout target of, I think it's like 83. Let's scrunch on down, yep. 83 is kind of where we're looking. We had a breakout target. We back tested the bull flag today with that dump the whole market took. So this is a slower mover. I do like this play. This is my second largest bag behind Pulse Chain. In terms of spot, it's the layer one gaming play that the banks are starting to pick up on top of the gaming aspect. So Bank of America and Citibank both adopted it for their layer one blockchain technologies and their infrastructure play. So I like it. I liked it before that happened. They also have a decent trading platform / yield farm in terms of their Trader Joe. They're not the cheapest, they're not the fastest, but they're reliable outside of that one crash they had. Apparently they had an update either this week or next week, I think, that fixes that, so I'm not really too worried. It's not as flawless as Pulse Chain and HEX, but that's a whole different story. Not exactly comparing apples to apples, even though they are layer one blockchains, both EVM. But that is my near-term target. I'm not really looking to do, if you get a big flush back down to like this big yellow line, this is kind of where I've been DCA buying any spot. So the last purchase I had was like between $37 and $38. So if that comes back down there again for any reason to shake out some weak hands, I'll definitely be buying spot. So That is AVAX. Moving on to band protocol. Again, this is my dark horse. This is the underappreciated stepchild of the Oracle system. So it is moving again, which is nice. This probably wouldn't be a bad leverage play, but it has low volume at times, so it just kind of sits there. Third largest bag personally, but this is my Oracle play. I rolled a lot of my Chainlink profits from the bottom into this coin. It has a lot more room to run. Let me jump out here to the weekly for daily for you. Just show you how far down we are. So from our current spot to the all-time high, you're looking at 852%. So yeah, this yellow line I think is my average buy price, which is 157-ish, somewhere in that range. I did get lower and I did get higher, so that's my average. So that's where we are. So let's see if I get my average and go to the all-time high. We're looking at what? Can't even see it. Yeah, 114. This is where it pays to get in earlier. Nearly 1,400% versus 800%. So, you know, every percentage point counts. Once we break out, we can talk about fib targets. I'm looking for all these coins to get a rejection between the 50 and the 618, and all these coins have not even come close to breaking out yet. Like, I think now you've got Ethereum above the 786 and above the 886. Bitcoin has a new all-time high. So these are all laggards that are about to pump in the next 1 to 2 months. So pay attention. So your first fib target, by the way, is $6.11. From right now, we're sitting at $2.51. That is a move of roughly 142%. So you're not late with this one. Nice double bottom W pattern, bull flag. That's my breakout target. Running over to, let's look at Pulse Chain again on the trading view, since that's kind of tough to look at. Let's see if it's caught up a little bit. Data hasn't really caught up online for this yet. Let's see if I can do this out of the way for you. Wyckoff schematic. Still having the back test. We did have a big pump, and I'll show you over here. Yeah, Richard Hart or somebody hit my target. Well, almost hit my target originally. Of 301052, currently sitting at nearly 8,000 with the 4 zeros in front of it. So bull flagging. I didn't look at how much was put in, but several $1 million got chucked in. I was watching buys last night where they were throwing $100,000 to $200,000 buys into PulseX. Excuse me, this is PulseX, not PLS. PLS is here. I still have a breakout target for this one at 302546. Current price is sitting up at 301741, which is approximately 47%. So very bullish. Haven't touched anything, haven't sold anything, haven't bought anything. I've been holding from the bottom, basically. Ink blew up to over $10, which is nuts. Last night I watched that live. Pretty wild. Whales, I think this is an opportunity for whales to get out of the ecosystem. I think that's what Richard Hart was doing, is just pumping up the price to want to attract attention to. He's giving whales an easy option out to sell their weak hands. And then once the sell pressure is gone, you have a much easier time to move the price up higher. But once we get moving on all of these, there's not much in terms of order blocks holding us back. The only exception is Ink. Ink is the meme coin of the family. It's running the most. It has the smallest market cap. This was in the low 100s not too long ago. First fib target for Ink is 141% away, which is a 236. So this one has the most appreciation out of the whole ecosystem. And let's head back over to TradingView. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Yeah, you can see Ethereum, it's getting a rejection off the 786 on the daily. Happy to see it got over the 618, so it couldn't go back down for a back test, but looks pretty good overall. I see this breaking out pretty shortly. Do I have a target sitting here? Yeah, I think I didn't do it on stream. I guess I have a different chart, but I think I had a $4,500 target in the near term, which coincides with this value area high we have here from this previous top. So the value area high comes at basically 45,000. The point of control is just above the 786, coming at a 42,226, or excuse me, yeah, 26. And then we are actually, ooh, look at that. Let me extend this out. Oh, we're getting rejection from it. I can say if you get back within this range, you're going to suck up with inside of it usually. So if we can get back above 39.95, we are going to run most likely to the all-time high. So pay attention to that. Basically, just mentally picture yourself, get above 4,000, we're going to run past the all-time high for Ethereum. So that's my near-term target. Money flow is stupid high on the daily. I'd assume it's the same for the weekly if I look at that. Yeah, it looks really good. I like it. 4 hour. Yep. Money flow is just silly. So yeah, I expect a small consolidation, maybe take out some of these stop losses and liquidate some people here at the top, and then boom, we're going. Other ones I look at, Illuvium, I hold this one. I had several 12-month vesting stakes for these guys. Great project. I think my last stake unlocks like the 31st of March. So I think I will actually may just hold that one. But this one now has a much different market cap. I'm sorry, guys. I've had everything on log scale. But it kind of gives you a better reference point. It's got a much larger market cap now. It's got more. There's more coins in circulation than before. So it may not run as high, but I would assume at least to the 618. So that's up at what? $1,200. I'll show you in a second. So from today's price to the 618. 618 comes in at basically $1,200. You're looking at 900% move. So it all depends on how much money comes into the gaming ecosystem. This is one of the better ones. This is a beautiful bottom structure. So I do expect some movement out of it. If you don't know anything about Illuvium, check them out. They have probably the best graphic designs I've ever seen in terms of crypto gaming, let alone gaming in general. And then two, you can use Ethereum. You have to pay to play. So you're pretty much depositing Ethereum to play the game, but you're also winning Ethereum when you play the game and you go through the levels and beat people. So this is one of those games like World of Warcraft where you could basically make a living playing at this game with Ethereum. So it's quite interesting how that plays out. So that's that. Your next you got really nothing here. Order block maybe at 258, currently at 117, and then you're looking at the next fib level up here at 485. Off to QNT. This is the banking play. I got rid of my QNT just because it's a slow mover. But this wouldn't be a bad idea, just like holding BNB. It'd be a play just to kind of put a few percentage points into something that's very stable. This one doesn't move very fast, but it does eventually rise, and it holds its values well. So this is a banking infrastructure play. So that's that. So you can see my squiggly lines. I'm not really going to get into some of the stuff that I really don't trade too much at the moment. Just going to give you a quick overview of what they are and what I like about it. Last, we'll kind of wrapping up here. Like I said before, you've got a beautiful market structure from Phantom. Finally broke out. This was been dead for a while. Ecosystem's dead. This was a great play in 2021 in terms of the yield farming. They had the best yield farming you could find. So they had issues with their founder leaving and then coming back. So I think Andre's back. So should be okay. But even a dead project like this will pump during a Bitcoin pump. So people like Solana, I'm not a fan of it, but I'll show it to you. I'm not a fan of anything that collapses and doesn't work for like a dozen more times. This is what Solana does, but apparently the community doesn't care. Cup and handle pattern on the weekly, beautiful structure. Getting a rejection currently off the 618. I would expect a back test, so or maybe not actually, because you're just, well, you got a bearish divergence here on the weekly, so, but you got increasing money flow, so that could be nothing because FOMO could just override that. Yeah, you got a bear div on the daily too. The problem I have with this is you have VCs that haven't gotten out completely, so they're selling now. So I think you're almost past the VC wall from when FTX screwed them over, because the FTX had the largest percentage of SOL of anybody. It was like 60% or something crazy. So if they've sold out, then the price can run. So assuming that line in the sand is probably the 164, which is the 618. So once we get past that, Solana's going to run like really hard. So good luck with you, those of you guys that have that. Here's Rune. Rune had a new all-time high. Expect a back test. I'll do individual fib targets later. Here's Link. Stinky Link is in a bull flag, so I expect higher out of this one. Yeah, beautiful structure. But as you can see, this one's already to its 382. If you go back and look at Band, which I replaced my Link with, you're not even to the Link is up here. You're not even halfway to the 236. So there's so much more room to run in terms of price appreciation. So yeah, it's a gamble, but it's the second oracle to Chainlink, and it has a different niche where it's more sporting events, sporting leagues, European soccer, NFL, hockey, Major League Baseball. There's all kinds of fun stuff. Soccer, NFTs. Here's HEX on the daily. It needs to get its butt higher, but it's got that 3-cent sell wall from BankX. So until that's broken, forget it. I think it's like 14 or 15 million they need to get out. But yeah, that's that in general. Dead bottom structure. That's what you want to see. I think combined HEX is like a little over 3 or 4 cents because of the pump and pulse chain, but it doesn't matter. It needs to get up and going. And let's do one more before I get off this thing. Let's see. There's ADA. People like this one. I haven't touched this since I sold it at over $3. So beautiful bottom structure, just like we had with Band Protocol. So you have this beautiful bottom structure. Remember, the longer the base, the higher you go in space. So this is going to be a good one. So if you don't own any, this wouldn't be a bad spot to look for a pullback like right now to get in. And then you have some room to run. But keep in mind, in terms of price appreciation, you don't have that much to get to. It's only a 3x basically. So 300%, 333% to get to the all-time high. Downside of larger market cap coins. That's why you want to be early. Early makes the difference. And our buddy Gold is running. So I think Gold just broke out a new all-time high. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, Gold is just pumping. So I think I have a $3,500 target for Gold. What do I have it at? 28. I don't have one before. So it's a beautiful cup and handle, like my coffee steam. Yeah. So gorgeous cup and handle pattern. Gold has at least to get to 28.15 before we have a significant pullback, but it could take you, mind you, 2 years. And gold moves very slow, so very stable asset. Unlike the US dollar. So nothing I say is financial advice, guys. Hopefully this is helpful. If you guys like this, I will do this more often on Fridays. It's just a market recap for how things are going. And you want to find me, head over to Crypto Blackwall on Twitter and the Blockguard Discord. The Blockguard will have some new products releasing here shortly with our launch of basically our index funds. We're going to call them the curated portfolios. And our portfolio builder, and we have Block Gold coming out, which is a tokenized gold asset. So I will talk to you more about that in different videos coming up. Thank you all. Have a great weekend. Get outside, see the sunshine. Bye.